What's up, everybody? I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend despite the horrible news we heard nationwide about Roe v. Wade. And I don't mean to get too political, guys. I apologize, but at the same time, this is some big stuff happening in our history. So, but as you guys can see from the top and the little thumbnail, I'm sorry, I was blanking out for a second, but we are talking about The Boys episode 6 of season 3, aka Herogasm. Supposed to be the most atrocious and just debaucherous episode yet, and it is a spoiler episode, as you guys know. So before we continue with the spoilers, guys, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you guys can stay up to date on all our videos and stuff. Again, we do appreciate the views, guys, and don't be afraid to share us around so we can grow our ranting community, so we can all rant some more. You know what I mean? Byrne, before I get started as well, how is the UK still treating you?
I'm still alive. They haven't gotten me yet. They're trying, right? They're not getting me. They got me. I told that bastard.
You come back with your wooden hand, just like, oh my god! Dude, a damn alligator bit my hand. I'm like, how are there gators in England? I don't know. There was one there from a local zoo. I don't know how it got out. They don't even know how it got out, and it got me.
It just popped out right from the dumpster and got me.
I'm not gonna lie. I would be horrified to go to an area where there's gators or crocodiles around. Not only because they're hissing, but the way they run around. And again, man, they are some stealthy bastards. So I'm just saying that's a natural fear I have. Anyways, so this episode was actually, you know what? Let me put it this way: for a title called Herogasm and all the how do I put this, not influence, but I guess all the reach that the actors like Jensen Ackles was putting out and some of the cast and crew were putting out, I thought it was gonna be way worse than what it was. I think like you said it earlier, Byrne, I think we're kind of numb from it with when Termite jumped into his boyfriend's penis or his lover's penis. I don't think they were together. I don't know, but I think after that, nothing can really faze me at this point anymore. There was still some horrible stuff, but that was just my mindset for this film.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of think I'm wondering if there was just sort of like a misdirect, because what we got here wasn't as ridiculous and crazy and over the top as I was expecting, or they were leading us to believe. I think it was a little bit of a misdirect, so to hide from the fact of the real surprise of this episode, and that was the fight that we got at the end.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a pretty, this is essentially a very safe porno, like the ones that they have on Cinemax, just because there was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of debaucherous. It
was like Prime Video After Dark, very softcore stuff, but almost bordering on that line of, yeah, like you said, just ooh.
Yeah, again, I don't think I'm down for that orgy life like some adults are. Not that I wouldn't be open to it, but at the same time, it was a little creepy, especially for superheroes. It just goes to show how messed up these heroes are.
I'm wondering too, does that say more about the show, or does that say something more about us, that we weren't surprised by any of this stuff?
I think Eric Kripke and Seth Rogen and all the other guys are literally just fucking with us from now on. But honestly, I welcome it because they made this show so much better by doing that. And story-wise, this, again, like Miss Marvel and stuff we were talking about a couple days ago, this has really accelerated the story very well. I think they've nailed down the whole 8-episode arc and stuff like that. So, Soldier Boy is just coming off again, just much more of an asshole. Every episode we see him, he's watching these old movies and stuff, which were just looked god awful. And he's like, they don't have the, I forgot what exactly he said, but the chop suey Asian song, something super
Oh yeah.
Very, very stereotypical.
I forgot what he said, but yeah, I think it's better just to not repeat it. But yeah, something very derogatory and racist.
It was super derogatory. It's they don't have that anymore. Why the fuck not? It's for many reasons. It's what about the other stuff? Gives them freaking pills and alcohol. It's hey, this shit saved us on D-Day. It's oh my god. But, again, he's kind of the darker version of he is the dark version of Captain America, the more messed up version. So he's not wrong, I guess, but just horrible. I just loved his. He just was the highlight of this episode again, man. Especially that final scene after the orgy was done, just because it was essentially Captain America versus Superman. That whole fight, and man, it was so much fun. I couldn't get over it. We'll get back into that later, but as you know, I just thought it was interesting that to be with Soldier Boy, like after the Homelander and the team found out, oh shit, Soldier Boy's alive. I thought it was actually intense that Black Noir completely went off the grid, and he's scared of him. And like Black Noir's damn near invincible except for his allergy, but it's like, what does that say about Soldier Boy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like it makes sense too that when we find out later from those twins that it was Black Noir who was the one who called and set up the hit Soldier Boy being taken. So it goes to show, like, one, it reinforces the idea that the team hated him as a whole, but it's giving us a little bit of mystery into like what is exactly Black Noir's deal. I know we briefly saw him in that flashback, but hopefully we'll get to learn a little bit more about him as the rest of these 2 episodes come out, because I really wonder what that dynamic is between the two of them, especially.
Yeah, I do too. I'm curious to see like why is he making everybody run? Like because again, it's like, yeah, he was super strong and stuff, but I wonder if, I don't know if it's like his laser stuff that they knew about, or if that was something the Russians introduced. I'm still a little confused on that, unless I just completely missed something. But everybody's freaked out of him, so I'm kind of liking that vibe. Like Jensen Ackles, again, he plays a horrible person, but his character, like what he does to everybody, like the fear, he's almost like the Darth Vader of those heroes right now. Let me see what else happened, but basically just we're just diving into Homelander's insanity. Now we finally realize, like, dude, I think he has a split personality or some sort of schizophrenia, but it's like, dude, he's talking to himself in the mirror was pretty crazy. Just him like talking himself up, you know what I mean? Like, oh, don't let these people judge you, or like, who gives a shit? We're gonna cut out that human part of you. I was like, damn, that was just creepy. You know what I mean?
And I did like this moment, but at the same time, I'm a little bit conflicted about it, because it seems like a weird element to only just like introduce now. Like if they do decide to go on with this sort of like dual personality or hints at that. It seems like I said, it's a weird element to introduce, in episode 6 of season 3, and not have been something that we've seen in the past. Or maybe it can just be a one-off, and it was like just one of those scenes where we can see like sort of his inner thoughts personified. So we'll see. I'm a little bit on the fence about that, but I do like the conversation. I do like the back and forth between him and his ego, essentially, and him reinforcing the idea of like him wanting to be loved by people. But then again, that's been prominent throughout these last few seasons, and last season especially. So I do like that they're keeping with that element of Homelander's his drive. That's his ultimate goal, is to be loved by people, because that was just something he lacked as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's another side of showing, like, even though these people are severely messed up, there is kind of a source to it. For Homelander, it's just the fact that he's a test tube baby. He never really had anyone to actually care for him or treat him like a regular kid. So, but again, I mean, not saying that it's okay what he does, but it's like, I get where he's coming from. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you at least understand like where he is coming from as a character, as opposed to just being like, okay, why is he doing what he does?
Yeah. Again, I love what the season is doing, like that it's diving more into everybody's psyche in a way. Like Kimiko, where, even though she didn't have power, she still handled herself very well. Like it goes to show she still knew how to fight, because, she saved Frenchie and I think Celine, I forgot that girl's name, Frenchie's former flame / cohort. But she still feels bad. It's like they're trying to be normal and they're trying to get away from that life, but in the end I just got the vibe like, you guys can't escape it. You are who you are. Like, you can want this, but in the end, it's not. I just don't think they'll be able to live that life that they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that sad realization that they aren't able to outrun their past, and it's very tragic. And I think their love story is that of a tragic one. Hopefully, it doesn't end with them dying, and I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, it does seem like they are on that path of these star-crossed lovers that unfortunately like their past catches up with them, and I guess we'll see how that plays out with the rest of the season.
Yeah. And I guess the other two that caught me off guard, like not off guard, but that were made a lot more sense finally, is that we know what Soldier Boy did to Mother's Milk and his family. That because he woke his grandpa up and Soldier Boy threw a car through their apartment, killing his family. I was like, damn, no wonder he has the OCD and why he's so hateful of the soups and stuff. I mean, that would do it for almost anybody, but I was just like, wow, that is incredibly horrible to hear. Just sad all around for Mother's Milk,
Yeah, and it's one of the things that we've seen in the show where these people were at some point fans of these heroes, and the sad reality is that their heroes are not what they've seen in the movies and the TV shows and all the promotion that Vought puts out. The reality is far uglier than that, and a lot of these characters are emotionally scarred by that, and we see the effect that these superheroes have been having on their lives for the last few years, and with Mother's Milk since he's been a kid. So yeah, it is really sad to see.
Yeah, sounds like Huey and Starlight are the freshest ones to all this trauma, kind of. Like, even though Starlight was, essentially as a kid sold into that life, sort of, or experimented on, creating her powers and stuff. I was really bummed by what happened with them. I feel like they just broke up this episode just because, she realizes, like, oh, so you've always wanted to, like, have powers or some sort of power over your life, and, you're intimidated. He was intimidated by her, which, it's like, damn, dude, she loved you for who you were, and that sucks. But yeah, at the same time, he is saving her a little. Well, not saving her really. He's trying to, at least. But it's like, Huey, you gotta know when to quit. So I don't know if he will. I don't think he has yet. Probably not till the end of the season. But shall we talk about the whole Herogasm event, Bern? I know we've been talking about the serious stuff. Shall we get into the nitty gritty of it all?
Yeah, I guess let's get into the little more fun stuff.
Oh God. Well, the thing that got me was just Love Sausage is still. I forgot what happened. I thought he died last season, or his junk got cut off or something. But we see him perfectly fine with that thing freaking snaking around like an alien. And
messing with Mother's Milk again.
Perfect. And you look familiar. It's like, no, you know what? No, it's not gonna look familiar. Is when I fucking chop this thing in your, get it out of my face, dude. And then Aaron Moriarty sold the awkward scene of just like, oh, he's great at cuddling. He'll eat that stuff up. Like, no. I just thought of role models at that part. Just the nom. Like, just it just sounded, just the way they put it was sounded gross. And when they got in, it's like, okay, it's just a giant superhero orgy. Like, okay, it's not anything too out of the ordinary, even though there was kind of some creepy stuff going on. But the nastiest two parts was just when Termite, he's out of rehab apparently, just touches him after he jumped out of this girl and touches his jacket. I was like, oh no. Even Mother's Milk was just like, what the hell is this on my jacket? It's my favorite jacket.
Yeah, like, what did he put on me? It's like, dude, we all know what that is. Ugh.
Like, Mother's Milk, just embrace the truth, dude. That's kind of what I was telling him. Like, you know what it is. Don't act like you don't. But then when he opens the door, just, oh god, the giant money shot just hits him, completely covers. Oh god, I did the same thing that Starlight did. I was like, no, buddy, no. Just, I need a bathroom. I need it now. Like, yeah, let's get you to a bathroom.
Yeah, that was my reaction. I was like, that is so gross. I feel like I needed to shower after that.
Oh God. And man, everybody just decided to come settle their scores essentially. That are like Soldier Boy outside of just waiting for the TNT twins who came out. Like the more we see Payback, man, the more we see just how fucked up they are too. Like it's like they're running this orgy, which I was like, oh, are you guys? What is the deal with you guys? I don't get it. But they just came off super just greasy, and then I love like his little dialogue outside is like when Soldier was like, I started this in '52. Started with Liberty. Oh, she was a firecracker, and they look at each other like, did you not know the truth that she was also a Nazi? But like, okay, you do you, man. Like that's cool.
And like I just like his outdated comments like with that, and then earlier on when he's talking about Cosby being America's dad and just man he made the strongest drinks. I was like, oh no.
It kind of makes me think how disgusted or how much fun do the actors have with the dialogue. Like they know they're talking about especially him. He's talking about the worst things possible. Like, did he break out laughing, or does he just like, dude, I need a break. I can't talk like this anymore. I wouldn't know how to feel about that. But, and then A Train is reeling from his brother's accident that Blue Hawk caused. But Ashley, I thought, dropped a real bombshell with that. Was just like, especially after she tears out her hair, which freaks me out. But she's like, now you care because it happened to you? Like, what about all the shit you've done? All the people you've killed? And, now, like, you're kind of full of shit. And it's like, yeah, actually, he really is. Like, that's what, like, I was like, holy shit, she's not wrong. She actually is pretty on point with that. But
yeah,
how he gets there.
It's exactly what we've been saying, that he hasn't cared about any cause, and now he only cares about it because it affects him. It's a very realistic thing for people to not care about anything until they get affected by it. And we've been hoping A Train, makes the right decision at some point, and only now finally he's doing that. And it's like, okay, well, it sucks that it took this much to get you there, dude.
Yeah. And Huey, I love Huey's teleportation, how he's like naked walking around and people are like touching him. He's like, no, I gotta give my asshole a rest. And they're like, oh, I get you. It's like, oh no, that's Huey, don't give into it. But we all know he was joking. But let me see. And then him and Butch are kind of giving themselves away this episode that, oh, now A Train kind of knows he has powers. Homelander definitely knew he has powers after he survived his laser blast. But oh man, and then the whole collateral damage thing that Starlight was trying to avoid, I was like, yeah, these are still people. Especially Mother's Milk made a good point that a lot of those women were just sex workers that are just getting taken advantage by these heroes. And it's like, damn, that is also pretty fucked up. Like, because I'm sure they're not going to get the help they need if they got really injured there too, just because Vought and stuff is all fucked up. But just him nuking the whole place again, that was just, the destructions does not stop with Soldier Boy. It's like every time he goes somewhere, just something has to blow up. But is it wrong? I kind of like it though.
I mean, we got a little bit of context too with his ability that whenever he does set off that atomic blast, he blacks out. Like he has no control over it. He gets triggered by the Russian music again here in this episode. So, and then again later, not to like talk too much about it, but later on when he tries to activate it himself, he can't really get it going.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like we're learning a little bit more about him now, and with that ability especially.
Yeah, it sounds like he can't just do it on his own. Like he tried and he was close, but just that shot where they're all like caving and like they're just holding down Homelander, trying to deliver that blow. It was like, damn it, he was so close yet so far. But like I said, that fight between Huey, Butcher, Homelander against, Soldier Boy versus Homelander, I was just rooting for the three of them. I was like, get that son of a bitch. Just such a great fight, and but Homelander obviously eventually gets out of it, which sucked. But again, with if he died, there's no show after this, so
And it was interesting to see him actually fight. Like I don't know about you, but to me, I didn't think he really had any fight training. At least we haven't really seen that showcased in the last few seasons. So to see him go head to head with a Soldier Boy and then fight off, Huey and And Butcher, it's like, okay, this dude's got some training that he hasn't showcased because he hasn't needed to. You know, he hasn't had a foe come at him with the same level of strength almost. So, yeah, the whole fight and the choreography was awesome here.
Yeah, that's actually, I was kind of thinking that too. Like, you brought it up perfectly, but I was thinking too. I was like, oh, he can actually throw some punches and stuff. Homelander knows what he's doing a little bit. I get that. I respect that. Um, but yeah, as he got away, and just the aftermath of Soldier Boy is just, annihilation of the TNT twins in their house was, it was pretty devastating. Seeing all these people like charred up, Termite got crushed by Homelander, and then Love Sausage picking up kind of what's left of his sausage essentially, and A Train's revenge was actually pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, that douchebag did have it coming, but it makes me think: is A Train dead now, or did he just kind of have like a little episode of his heart, like a heart attack kind of thing?
I mean, it definitely looked like he had a heart attack at the very least. We don't know if he survives it yet. I don't think we'll know until next episode, but. Yeah, it's very hard for me to say that someone deserves to die, but I was there with him with Blue Hawk. Is that his name? Yeah, that I was like, dude, that dude was an awful human being. It's like, is the world better off without him? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And then before the ending, I kind of forgot to bring it up, but the fact that Newman was in on it, especially with the whole like little news thing they did to try and get ahead of the whole Soldier Boy murdering people and stuff. When she came onto that, I was like, oh shit, does she know? And when she's with Starlight by himself, she's like, oh, I thought I was gonna pop his head. I was the same with Starlight again. Just, I'm sorry, you what? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just that was, again, just scary shit. Homelander's scary, she's scary, but Starlight's a fucking boss, just holding her ground against him, saying, you know what, fuck you, fuck Homelander, fuck Vought. I'm tired of like feeling shitty about trying to do the right thing. And like, again, I'm as one of those things, like the boys are trying to like Mother's Milk and her are on the same team because they're both in that mindset of like, we gotta stop sinking to our enemy's level. We gotta be better about it at some point. And that ending, dude, that was a crazy ass bombshell. Just the fact that he recorded. I don't know about you, Bern, but I was like, oh shit, this is. I'm a little scared for her going forward. What about you?
I mean, yeah, definitely getting a lot more. I mean, I think this for her was her big hero moment where she's actually deciding to step up and use her platform in a way where she can hopefully exact some change. Her and Mother's Milk do seem like at this point, the emotional grounding and the real good core characters of this show. And for them to do what they did at the end of this episode is them, I guess, fighting back in the way that they can and not get their hands dirty. And stoop to the level that everybody else in the show is. So for them to do that, it's like, okay, they're really putting huge targets on their backs. So it is very scary to see. Characters, we know good characters in this show don't last long. So the fact that they're doing what they're doing, it's very scary for those characters. But it's good to finally see someone trying to do something the right way in this show, because it's a lot of these characters embracing their worst qualities as we've seen so far. So we're going to see just how well it plays out for them. But yeah, them doing what they did is like, okay, now this is actually some real hero work going on here.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best, Bern. We are gonna have to see what happens with them. I'm keeping my fingers crossed they pull through, because the boys will just not be the same without them, especially because, Huey used to be the cornerstone of being like good and pure, but now it's kind of shifted to them, and it's up to them to kind of reunite them and stuff. But Butcher and Huey are on their friggin' warpath, and then Kimiko and French are on the run essentially. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But anything else that that you spotted in this burn, or that popped out at you at all?
Nothing else that I spotted. Just the fact that we got a lot of I wouldn't say payoffs, but I would say that we got a lot of conflicts coming to a head in this episode, and I wasn't really expecting that coming into this one. Of course they were building up the Herogasm aspect of it, so again it was a nice little mislead to all these different storylines coming to a head. So it definitely sets up a really good last couple episodes going forward into the season. So yeah, it's a very, very explosive episode in many more ways than one, but a really good one. And again, just another episode of The Boys that hits.
It did, man. I was a little nervous for this episode, but honestly, it was just another fun, disgusting trip with these guys. And again, I forgot to talk about this, but I love the cameos in the beginning. Like I was asking you before this, was this all from the Imagine stuff during COVID? Because I didn't really care. I didn't really watch it, but you told me it's all these new actors came on. I was like, oh shit, that's awesome! Like Rose Byrne, Ashton Kutcher, and Mila Kunis, Patton Oswalt. Of course, he had to join because he's awesome. And then Black Noir just ending with his cards. I thought that was hilarious. Just great way to start this episode.
I mean, yeah, it really was. Again, this show holds no punches in deciding who to make fun of, and that was a real solid one to start off the episode with.
The Deep was the Gal Gadot of this episode. Mm-hmm. It's like, sorry, Gal, but that was not a smart idea back then. Oh gosh, but anyways, guys, for those of you who saw this episode, what'd you guys think? Were you completely grossed out, or are we completely demented for not thinking it was as messed up? We'd love to know. Don't be afraid to throw it in the comments, but we appreciate you guys joining us on these spoiler reviews and joining us the ride for this show. As always, don't be afraid to throw out the comments, and as always, guys, stay bodacious and keep on ranting.
Yeah, everybody. Only 2 episodes left of this one, so it's going to be an interesting ride to see how this season wraps up. But we're going to be here to talk about them when they come out. So we'll definitely see you guys then. So until then, everybody, be good and be safe, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.